Imagine being born and immediately becoming prey. Before you take your first real breath, before you even understand what the world is, something is already hunting you. The river around you is alive with danger. Currents pull at your tiny body. Shadows pass overhead. And in the water beside you, larger creatures circle with one thing on their mind. You are not at the top of this world. You are not even in the middle. You are at the very bottom, and almost everything around you wants to eat you. Birds dive from above, cutting through the surface with terrifying precision. Larger fish patrol the shallows, waiting for a single moment of weakness. And the river itself, cold and violent and indifferent, threatens to sweep you away before anything else even gets the chance. Pause. And somehow, despite all of this animal still attempts one of the most brutal, punishing, emotionally devastating journeys in the entire natural world. A journey that will take years. A journey that will demand everything. A journey that ends in a way most creatures would never accept. Ahead lies a waterfall so powerful it sends water crashing down like a wall of white thunder. And this tiny animal is expected to leap it. This is why it absolutely sucks to be a salmon. Salmon begin life small, weak, and surrounded by danger. Deep beneath the river gravel, eggs rest in carefully prepared nests called redds. For weeks, they develop in darkness, hidden from the world above. But the moment those eggs hatch, the clock starts ticking. Alevin, the newly hatched salmon, emerge with yolk sacs still attached to their bodies, their only source of early nutrition. They are barely visible to the human eye, fragile, translucent, almost ghost-like. But to the river, they are just another meal waiting to happen. Other fish eat them, insects eat them, birds hunt them from above the surface, their sharp eyes cutting through the water with frightening accuracy. And strong river currents constantly threaten to pull them away from the safety of the gravel beds before they are strong enough to fight back. As they grow into fry and then into fingerlings, the danger does not decrease, it multiplies. Every stage of early life introduces a new predator, a new threat, a new reason why survival is not guaranteed. Trout, herons, kingfishers, even other salmon. The river is not a nursery. It is a gauntlet. Most salmon never even reach adulthood. Studies suggest that out of every 1,000 eggs laid, only a handful will survive long enough to make the journey back upstream. The numbers are staggering, the odds are almost incomprehensible, and yet the species persists. Because nature does not care about individuals. Nature cares about continuation. If they survive the river, things get even worse. After months of fighting to stay alive in freshwater, juvenile salmon begin a transformation called smoltification. Their bodies change chemically, preparing them for the brutal shift from freshwater to saltwater. They travel downstream, through the same currents that once threatened to destroy them, and eventually reach the open ocean. And the ocean is not a sanctuary. It is a different kind of war. Sharks patrol the deeper waters. Seals and sea lions hunt near coastlines with terrifying efficiency, capable of consuming dozens of salmon in a single feeding session. Larger fish, orcas, dolphins, and countless other predators turn the open water into a constant battlefield. Salmon spend years out in the ocean, growing, feeding, building the strength they will eventually need. But every single day is a calculation of survival. Every movement is a risk. Every moment of stillness could be the last. Pause. And yet, something extraordinary happens during those years at sea. Deep within the salmon, a biological compass activates. A memory, encoded not in the brain, but in the body itself, begins pulling them back. Back toward the river, back toward the exact tributary where they were born. Scientists believe salmon use the Earth's magnetic field, the position of the sun, and even the unique chemical scent of their home river to navigate thousands of miles of open ocean with almost perfect accuracy. It is one of the most remarkable feats of navigation in the animal kingdom. But eventually, that navigation leads them directly back into danger. Their real nightmare is only just beginning. Adult salmon return to the exact river where they were born. Not a similar river, not a nearby stream. The precise location where their life first began, which means swimming against powerful river currents for hundreds of miles, sometimes traveling distances that would exhaust a trained human athlete even with modern equipment. The upstream migration is unlike anything else in nature. From the moment salmon enter freshwater again, their bodies begin a process that has no return. They stop eating entirely. Their digestive systems essentially shut down. Every calorie they have stored over years of ocean feeding becomes the fuel for this final, desperate push. Their bodies weaken with every passing day. Muscles begin to break down. Their skin changes color, shifting from silver to deep red and green, a visual signal that the end is approaching. And still they swim, against rapids that would knock a grown man off his feet, through narrow channels where the water funnels into violent, churning walls of force, around boulders and fallen trees and every obstacle the river places in their path. Every second becomes survival. There is no rest. There is no pause. There is only forward, always forward, because stopping means dying before the mission is complete. Then come the waterfalls. These are not gentle cascades. These are walls of falling water, some stretching 10, 12, even 15 feet high, crashing down with a force that would shatter bone. And salmon must leap them. Using the last reserves of energy stored in their deteriorating bodies, they launch themselves from the base of the waterfall, aiming for the falling curtain of water, trying to push through to the calmer pool above. Some salmon fail repeatedly. They launch themselves upward and smash into rocks, tumbling back into the churning water below. They try again and again, their bodies absorbing impact after impact. They fall backward, disoriented, exhausted, bleeding. And waiting below, with patience that borders on terrifying, are the predators. Bears position themselves at the base of waterfalls with almost casual confidence. They know the salmon are coming. They have always known. A bear can stand at the edge of a waterfall and pluck a leaping salmon directly from the air, its jaws closing around the fish before it even clears the falls. It is one of the most iconic images in wildlife photography. And for the salmon, it is the cruelest possible ending. To have traveled so far, to have survived the ocean and the river and the rapids, only to be caught mid-leap, inches from progress. For many salmon, the journey ends here. Bears wait near rivers in numbers that would seem almost coordinated if they were not simply following the same ancient instinct. Eagles attack from above, dropping from heights with talons extended, snatching salmon from just beneath the surface with a precision that looks almost mechanical. Wolves hunt near riverbanks, wading into shallow water to intercept salmon that have strayed too close to the edge. Even ravens and smaller birds pick at salmon that have been injured or beached. The river during salmon migration season is not a quiet, natural event. It is a feeding frenzy that draws predators from miles around. Pause. And exhausted salmon have almost no energy left to escape. The same bodies that once darted through ocean currents with speed and agility are now slow, weakened, and visibly deteriorating. Their reaction times have slowed. Their ability to change direction quickly has diminished. They are running on empty in the most literal biological sense. The closer they get to success, the more dangerous life becomes. Because the spawning grounds are upstream, and upstream is where every predator has gathered. The final stretch of the journey is the most deadly stretch, and the salmon have no choice but to swim directly through it. After surviving impossible odds, after years in the ocean and hundreds of miles upstream, after waterfalls and rapids and bears and eagles, salmon finally reach the spawning grounds. They find their partners. They dig their nests in the gravel. They lay their eggs. And then they die. Slow, emotional music. Their bodies collapse from exhaustion. The same biological process that fueled their upstream journey has consumed them entirely. Their immune systems fail. Their organs shut down. Many never leave the river alive. They drift to the shallows, their colors fading, their movements slowing to nothing. Pause. Their entire existence becomes one brutal survival mission with a single purpose. Not their own survival, not their own comfort, but the continuation of the next generation. Every sacrifice, every injury, every impossible leap and desperate swim was never really about them. It was always about the eggs now resting safely in the gravel below. But salmon also feed entire ecosystems in death as powerfully as they did in life. Their decomposing bodies release nutrients into the river that feed insects, which feed fish, which feed birds. Bears carry salmon carcasses deep into forests, fertilizing trees with marine nutrients that would never otherwise reach inland soil. Scientists have found traces of ocean nitrogen in trees growing miles from any river, carried there entirely by bears eating salmon. The forests along salmon rivers are measurably healthier than forests without them. Their struggle supports bears, birds, forests, and rivers in ways that took scientists decades to fully understand. Pause. In nature, even suffering has purpose. Even the most brutal, seemingly pointless cycle of hardship feeds something larger than itself. Every year, millions of salmon repeat this impossible journey. From the gravel beds of mountain rivers to the open ocean and back again, driven by something older than memory, older than instinct, older than anything we can fully explain. They do not choose this path. They simply follow it, completely and without hesitation, because that is what they were made to do. And most never survive it. The river flows quietly now. The season will end. The bears will retreat. The eagles will find other hunting grounds. And deep in the gravel, in the darkness beneath the cold water, tiny eggs will begin to develop. And the whole brutal, beautiful, heartbreaking cycle will begin again.